What's up there, YouTube? Okay, so today I'm headed to Biketoberfest, taking my Kawasaki, going down to Daytona for Biketoberfest, and I'm gonna give you my full, long, 2,000 mile follow-up review of my Kawasaki Versys 1000. Now, I bought this bike in August. I put over 2,000 miles on it. It's October. September, October, I put a lot of miles, 2,000 miles on that bike in just a few months, just a couple months. So I haven't really done anything to it other than change the oil and stuff like that. I added some Isle of Man stickers, if anybody knows what those are. You should know what those are. If you're a motorcycle enthusiast, you should know what those are. But if you don't, you don't. So I'm fixing to drive down to Biketoberfest. Pretty excited. I put my gloves on. You got to put your gear on. And I'm also going to be doing a review of, long-term review after riding it over 2,000 miles. Bike's got over 2,000 miles on it right now. I'm lucky. I live 30 minutes north of Daytona. And got a full tank. Got a full tank of gas. I'm ready to go. I'm not turning my we gotta go. I'm gonna have to edit this out. I was handing off the waves, but now I can't see the damn. Let me try fixing this. All right, I had to do some stuff. Now I'll be there. It's 35 minutes for me to go to Daytona. Daytona's 35 minutes from me. So we're gonna have a little chat on the way down here. Hopefully you don't hear my music playing. If you do, I'm gonna have to redo this and just do a voiceover, I guess. Anyway, so I'll probably cut that out. Okay, so let's start with the things that I really love about this bike, and one of them is this right here. I just shifted up without touching the clutch. It's one of my favorite features is the blip shifting. Basically, you can shift up and down without touching the clutch, and it rev matches on the downshift, which is freaking awesome. I mean, you can open it wide open, and just when you get close to rev line, wherever you want to shift, you just shift it up, and it shifts. That's it. Done. It's that easy. So it's one of my absolutely favorite things about this bike. I like the windshield. The windshield's a perfect height. It's
it could be a tad taller, but I'm in Florida, so I like getting some wind on my helmet. I like to raise my shield up, feel some wind hitting it. This little thing here, I'm assuming it works to keep from buffeting because my head doesn't vibrate, it bounces around a lot. It actually works pretty well. It doesn't bounce all over the place. And anyway, the windshield works really well. I've had it up and down. I like it down if I'm going to be going, if it's real hot and I want to get a lot of wind, I like to put the shield down. Just drop it down, but most of the time I keep it all the way up because I'm on the highway a lot. You can see I've driven this bike 2,088 miles in 2 months. Well, it's October, middle of October. I got it in August, so I got it August, September, October. So basically 2.5 months I've had the bike, and I've driven it 1,000 miles a month, which is a lot of miles for a motorcycle. You know, for average people, you know, you might put, you know, I've seen bikes that are five years old with 5,000 miles on them. So who knows? Anyway, I've got John Grisham playing over here. I don't want this. There. Play something else. There, I play Wings, High, High, High. I deleted that audiobook. I don't know why it's still on there. Anyway, just like now, I just downshifted. I didn't touch it. I didn't touch the clutch. I did when I shifted to first, but that was it. Come on. So anyway, so I've got gas and everything. I'm ready to go. It's got a thing comes up for lunch, whatever, Waze. I use Waze on my phone. I don't really need the navigation to get to Daytona. I know how to get there, but I like to have it. Uh-oh. That one side came off. I gotta pull over and put that on. Otherwise my phone will fall out. It'll flip out. Yeah, I just go pull back out here. Okay, so blip shifting, love it. Love the blip shifter, to the automatic shifting with the thing. It's awesome. And I can boom, look, just wide open, boom, just shift. All you gotta do is just flip up on the shifter. You're gone. The brakes are fantastic. The back brake does take a little bit more foot pressure. Takes a little bit more foot pressure on the back brake, but the front brake's so good, it grabs so good that I don't usually use the back brake very much at all anyway. I'm not a real big back brake user. So the back brake, it works for what it works. It works fine. The mirrors are good. I can see really good. I always end up bumping this one and have to readjust it. I don't know how, but I bump it and I have to readjust it. I like to see the corner of my arm in this corner of the mirror. What else is there? Oh, there's a lot. It's very smooth on the highway. I'm about to get on the highway and show you guys how unbelievably smooth the bike is on the highway. It's very smooth. It's not there's not a lot of vibration. I feel a little bit through the pegs doing like 80, 85, but not a lot. It's barely anything. So it's really, really good. Now I do, when I shift from second to first, I pull the clutch in. Just because the first to second and second back down to first is a little bit jerky on the blip shifter. Second to third is perfect. You can't feel anything. But from first down to second and second to first, it's a little jerky. It's a little poppy. Yeah, it pops a little bit. But other than that, I mean, I've heard that the BMW blip shifter is way smoother. But honestly, from second to third, that's when I'm going to use it, is when I'm going faster. Otherwise, I would have got an automatic bike. So see, I manually do it from first to second, but from second to third, I just, boom, shift. I don't pull the clutch in. You saw I didn't pull the clutch in at all. Yeah, so the brakes, very, very good brakes. Very good. The power, plenty of power. I put it in road. Most of the time I leave it in road. It gives you a little bit of stability control. See, I shift fourth, like I put my hand here, I'm shifting from fourth to fifth. Boom, I just shifted. See, there's my hand, my left hand, it's off the clutch. It just shifts buttery smooth. It's super smooth. Okay, average speed, total time, battery. It's saying I'm getting 52 miles to the gallon. Right here now. Well, it's saying that I'm averaging 40.5 miles per gallon. I tend to fill up a lot more than I thought I would. Like, it seems like I do a lot of highway miles, and it should be getting more than 40. Should be getting about 45 miles to the gallon. I do get on it quite a bit, but it seems like it should be getting the miles per gallon. If I was actually getting 40, I wouldn't have to fill it up so often. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that it doesn't feel like I'm getting 40 miles to the gallon. My car gets 37, and it's a much bigger tank, but I'm having to fill this thing up every 2 days. I have to put 15 bucks in it every 2 days. So it doesn't last with trips and everything. Like, a lot of people are already leaving. It's Sunday. It just now got a sunny day. I see people going the other direction. But they come down there on Thursday, on the 17th. So Biketoberfest was from Thursday, the 17th, through today. Now, it's only 11:30 in the morning. I can't imagine where these guys are going with their bikes when you have Biketoberfest out here. I don't know where they're going. Maybe they had to leave early. Maybe they had to get out of town. Maybe they came down and they got to get back, and they took a 2-day trip. They have to go to work tomorrow. I don't know. All I know is today's the first day I've been able to go. It's been raining, and it's been a weekday. I couldn't go during the week. I had to watch the grandkids and stuff. Anyway, so back to the bike review. So I'm going 83. It's super smooth, super steady, 85 miles an hour. It's perfect. This bike is freaking awesome, and it wants to go faster. Oh, this thing definitely wants to go. This thing wants to stay at 100 miles an hour. It wants to cruise at 100 all the time. The engine's super smooth. I can't even feel it in my hands. The cruise control is really, really good. Now, I heard KTM is coming out with adaptive cruise control for the motorcycle. So it basically has radar on the front of the bike that senses the car and shows you how far you are from the car, and it will let off the cruise control. It probably won't apply brakes like a car does. A car applies brakes. My car does. It'll probably just let off the cruise, let off the gas, which would engine brake anyway, so it'll slow the bike down. It probably doesn't have, but I can't imagine soon we won't, bikes, motorcycles, and cars and everything will have adaptive cruise control with not lane keep assist, but emergency braking and all that kind of stuff. There goes a guy on a Harley. So I can't, it's got to be to that point where they're going to be having all that stuff, right? Got with a t-shirt on up there. I don't know about you, but I care more about my skin than a t-shirt. T-shirts are nice. I'm going to get a t-shirt over here. Daytona. Biketoberfest t-shirt probably. pass them and wave to them. Or it's going slow. Looks like you go fast. We can go fast. Harleys are fast. They got all motorcycles. Let's be honest for a minute. All motorcycles are fast. They're faster than cars. So they're fast just by the fact that you're sitting on a motor with two wheels. It's faster. You know, it's not this fast, but it's faster. Spend my time waiting for the bikes. Oops. Oops a daisy. I was going 101. I can't be going that fast. I want to get a ticket. I want to get a ticket. So anyway, yeah, this thing is it's a beast. It's extremely comfortable. I mean, I'm sitting comfortably in the seat's comfortable. The tank, the size of the bike is very comfortable. It's made for long distance. You could tour on this thing. I could drive this thing across the country and be comfortable for you could probably drive it for about 2 hours at a time and be comfortable. So from fill up to fill up, you know, a couple hours. And be comfortable. So, you know, so the miles per gallon really doesn't matter that much. I like the fact that it gives me a range. I like the fact that my gas gauge gives me a range on how much farther I have to go. Now, there is one thing that's a little bit annoying, is the gas gauge. When it hits the last bar, E, when you have like 40 miles left, it starts flashing at you. So this bike doesn't have a reserve tank. It basically just has a notice, a thing showing you when you're close to reserve. I guess that's reserve. But the problem with it is it's got like 40 miles. So it always makes me nervous as hell when it starts coming on. And I'm like, I like the fact that I can look and say, okay, I've got 40 miles left. But the problem with it is I'll have 40 miles and I feel like I need to hurry up and get to the gas station because it's flashing at me. I wish I could set it to like 20 miles, you know, because I don't do a lot of driving where I'm more than 20 miles from a gas station. And I can kind of look and go, oh, I'm on E. You know, it's down to the bottom there. I probably need to go get gas. But I suppose it would make me even more nervous if all I had was 20 miles left on it. So, I don't know. It's 6 one, half dozen the other of whether or not how good it is. Anyway, so that's another thing. I'm going to probably talk about some stuff, the styling and the features that I like from the outside while I'm on the bike. But I thought I'd go over a few things that I like while I'm riding the bike. You know, this thing is, look, that guy didn't use a blinker. You see him? You saw him. He didn't use a blinker. I used a blinker. He did not use a blinker. He just got over. Not the end of the world, but still, we're 14 miles from Daytona. So, speed-wise, I'm in 6th gear, right? 6th gear, get over, give it gas, and this thing scoots. See? I mean, it goes up to 110 pretty quick. In 6th gear, it just zips right up, no problems. So, Yeah, this thing's fast. It's a fast bike. It's got a 1,000 engine motor in it, so it's quick. There's no denying that. What else is there? The modes, I changed I think I had it in the softest mode, the KVS, which was your electronic suspension. I'll keep my hand out to the right if I have to for all these people coming, all these bikers. Anyway, so the modes, the KVS, the electronic traction control. Oh, this is our guy. The electronic traction control. Anyway, the electronic traction control, I had it on just the passenger, right? So you could set it to passenger, passenger with a bag, passenger with 2 bags, 2 passengers. So basically, or I think 2 passengers, 2 bags, or whatever. You can set it right there. The amount of preload and damping of the suspension. And my guy wanted to give me a peace sign on his way out. Yeah, it's a nice bike. Anyway, so I think I had it with just the passenger, just me, but I have bags on the back, and I'm a big guy. So at nighttime, I think my headlight, because I'm bigger, the bike was setting down a little bit in the back on the highway and on the road, and the headlight was pointing too high. So it was too soft in the back. So I adjusted it to being a passenger, and it seems like the headlights, when I'm sitting on it, it's not leaning up so much. So it's not blinding people. People were flashing me like I had my high beams on. It's a bright headlight. That's the other thing I'll talk about, the lights. The cornering lights are nice, a little bit gimmicky, because I mean, I go around a corner, by the time I'm out of the corner, the headlights already changed, but they come on as you corner. They help you see in the corner, but I can usually see pretty good with the headlight in the corner anyway. It's just a little added light that comes on to the side. It's not that bad. They're okay. Anyway, I'm gonna talk more once I get down here. All right. So I got here. Go look at some of the tents. What do we got here? Leathers. Bunch of different stuff. Here in Bike Week, Daytona. Actually, not Bike Week, Biketoberfest. Going down to these tents and checking stuff out. So I'm gonna go look around. So quite a few places out here. Go check out some other stuff. Alright, so I grabbed a couple shirts right here. Some Biketoberfest shirts. The guy I work with wanted one for a gift, and I got 2 more. They had a deal for 3 of them for a price, whatever. Anyway, so I got 3 of them. You know, I might give another one out as a gift.
First booth. Cool. Get to hear one run here in a second. Oh, just did. I'll play it now. Anyway, pretty cool. V8 choppers. Again, like I said, I'm going to go over the things that I really like about this bike and the things that I dislike about the bike. I stopped off at this little park out here on my way back from riding down to Biketoberfest. Just coming back from Daytona, from Biketoberfest, and I thought I'd stop off and wrap this video up. Now, so far I've owned a lot of bikes in my life. I've had a lot. My very first bike was a 1979, I think, or 78, something like that, 78 or 79. Yamaha 650 Special, old V-twin. And then I've had a bunch of bikes. I bought the Seiko back in 92, brand new, and I bought the GTS 1000, and I've had a bunch of different motorcycles. But of all the motorcycles I've owned, this one is by far my favorite motorcycle. This is the best motorcycle I've ever ridden. It's smooth, it's reliable, the shifting is buttery smooth on it. It handles like a dream. The thing handles like it's like it floats. Like you don't even feel it. You're just going around the corner. You hit the corners. It makes you super confident in the corners, especially with all the electronics, the ABS cornering and ABS braking in the corners. You can brake this bike in a corner with the front brakes, and the ABS can tell that you're leaning the bike, and it will brake. It'll apply more or less ABS. It's constantly adjusting the suspension depending on how you're riding. So if you put it in road, you might hit a patch where you're kind of going faster around some corners, even though it's in road and not in sport, and it'll tighten up the suspension. Also, things like in sport mode, you can turn all this stuff off if you want. You can turn off traction control, you can turn off ABS, you can turn off everything if you want and run it like a regular, bike that doesn't have any of those features. But what's the point? The whole reason to get a motorcycle with all these features is because of all the features that they have. So having electronic cruise control where you can adjust the speed and you can set it and turn it up and make it go a little faster, a little bit slower. That's awesome, because even though I'm not one of these, nervous all the time grabbing the handlebars, my hand still gets a little bit numb after, a good 40 minutes of riding. So it's nice to be able to flip on the cruise control, take my hand off, just do a little stretching on my hand. I'm old. I'm, I don't know if you could tell this or not. I've got a few years on me, so being able to, stretch your fingers out and not have to keep them in this position or even in this position, it helps. That's a fantastic thing. And my old bike used to have the little lever over there, but you kind of just squeezed it, pushed the lever, and it'd hold the lever there, but it wasn't doing the same thing that the electronic is. The electronic actually keeps the speed. That kept the amount of gas on the electronic keeps the speed. So you set it for 80 miles an hour, and that's what you're going is 80, 81, 79, right in there, within 3 miles of 3 miles per hour up or down. Cleaning, it's been super easy to clean. This paint is amazing. It's not flat. It's like a, I don't know what to call it. It's not flat though, but it feels really good, and it wipes up really good, and it looks perfect even when it's a little bit dirty. Like it's a little dirty down here. I got a little dirt down here. You know, I gotta take the bike and clean it. But it looks, look at it, it still looks pretty new. I mean, I put chain lube on it and stuff like that, but that's it, you know, and I clean the tires up, clean the wheels up. But if you're looking for a bike that you can drive every day, right? I needed a bike that's a commuter bike, long distance bike, a little bit sporty, and has the features that I like. Now, in order to get these same features like on a, say, a Harley or something like that, you're gonna have to spend $30,000 at least. This thing was $17,000. Actually, it was $14,000. I got it for $14,000, which is unbelievable. I got it for the price of the base one, is what I paid for this one with the bags and everything. So the base model of this bike is like 14 grand. This model here is supposed to be 17.9 or something like that, right? Almost 18,000 for this. This is the SE LT, completely loaded. It has every option that you can get besides the little fog lights extras and the top bag. They sell a bag for the top, but really these bags are plenty big enough. I'm going to show you what all I have in these bags here in a second, because I went to Biketoberfest. Normally I put my jacket in the bag too, but I had the black clip. I had to clip the microphone on somewhere, so I put it right there. Anyway, check this. Yeah, it's recording. Yeah, just, I hate that. I hate it when I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So anyway, the mirrors don't vibrate at speed. You know, I can see clear through them at all times. They're super clear. The bags are nice. The bags get dirty. This white up here gets pretty dirty going down the road because you get a lot of road grime on this white. It shows up. Now black doesn't show up as much, but there's just as much on the black, but you can't see it as much. But you definitely see it on this white. But this is a beautiful metallic white. It's not matte. It's like a satin type of finish. It's really pretty. I'm gonna get some close-up shots of this. This bike is deceiving. It doesn't look that pretty. When you look at it, you're like, ah, it's a bike, whatever. But when you get up close and start looking at the detail of the paint and all the stuff, it's really nice. See, the paint is like, it's like a metallic white, and you can see how dirty it gets right there. But even these spots down here, they're not bad. Okay, so the controls are still just like new. Here are the controls on this side. The dashboard I love. I'm gonna turn the dashboard on. So this thing is fantastic. So I've driven 2,164 miles. You can see the KDS right here. That's telling you how many passengers and stuff. If I push this preload button over here, I can adjust it. So if I click it once and hold it, now it's saying 2 people on bags, 1 person in bags. That's the way I do it, is 1 person in bags. It doesn't have for just 2 people. So I imagine I would do 1 person in bags if it's 2 people without any bags on it. If it's 2 people with bags, then obviously you do 2 people with 2 bags. But let's see, things I dislike. Oh boy, that's a tough one. The gas mileage could be, it's still decent, but it's not. Hey, it's a 1,000cc motorcycle. You're gonna get what you get, right? You're not gonna get 60 miles to the gallon. You're not driving a 250 or a 50cc motorcycle. You're driving a big motorcycle. That's the first thing. What else? Well, I tell you, there's very few things that I dislike about this motorcycle. I don't have one in another color. It'd be nice if I had a different colored one. I mean, I love the bags. The bags coming off are a little bit sticky. I'm going to show you here in just a second what's in the bags, but they're a little, like, they kind of have this little rubber piece that they clip into, and it's a little sticky. So I suppose the bags could have an easier way of clipping on and off, but that's really nitpicking. The headlights are great. The turn signal, everything's great. It could have a little bit more power, but honestly, I leave it at road and it's fine. If I stick it in sport, I can feel a little bit more power when I get on it. You know, it's not hesitating for traction controls turned off, but I mean, the thing flies, so there's no real reason for me to be like, oh, I wish it was faster. I don't even want to put a 4-into-1 exhaust on it. It's plenty fast enough. It's a 1000 cc. What are you gonna get? It's fast. Yeah, that's about it. That's honestly, of the two things I can think of, the gas mileage and, you know, maybe the bags clipping, and that's it. I really can't think of too much that I would change on this motorcycle, or that I wish it had, that would make this a better motorcycle. This thing is, Kawasaki gave you everything you could want in a motorcycle. If you're into adventure touring, sport touring type of bikes, they give you everything with this. This thing is got everything. So I don't know what, a little bit more power maybe. The BMWs have the BMW K1200 or the R1200 RS. That's a similar type of bike. Has a little, I think it's got 160 horsepower or 140 horsepower, and this thing has like 120 or 130. It's really not that much of a difference. You could probably do a couple things and make this one go as fast. I can't. I smoke everything I get out there on. So there's no reason for me to. I mean, that I want to. This thing's fast enough for me. So I've got no beef with the speed of it. It's honestly, no. That's it. That's all I can think of. I can't think of anything else. So the bag, you put the key in, turn it, and then this top lever flips up, and then the bag opens. Right now I got a hat, got a GoPro. I've got a rain suit, the liner for this jacket, and owner's manual, and I got some bike from some Biketoberfest shirts. I got one as a gift, and I got a couple for myself, and I might give one of the ones that I got for myself as a gift too. But it's got little straps in here to strap stuff up. I got my baseball hat, and I can put even more in it. You can fit a full face helmet in the bag and still have a little bit of room. This helmet goes fine on the other side. So the bike has a clip right here for a lock clip to lock your helmet, but it's right by the bag. I guess this is good if you don't have the bags on and you want to lock your helmet. There's a helmet lock right here. This little helmet lock, from what I understand, Kawasaki charges like $250 for this helmet lock. If you buy a bike from them that doesn't have it, this little helmet lock's like $250. Mine came with the helmet lock, so. And you just lock it and go like that. And you have to unlock it to lift the lever, and this lever lifts up here on the side. There's a little orange thing, it kind of seems to be coming out. These bags are supposedly made by GV, so you slide it back and out. I don't feel like doing it right now, but this locks it so you can't lift that lever up. So there's the bag, and they got a little thing on them. I like the bags on them. I was gonna have a drone shot of me riding the bike down by the ocean, and have a drone shot with the ocean in the background. And I was just gonna do a track. Oh, watch me! I've got a little remote for my drone that you put like in your pocket, and you can control it with the thing, and then say, "Watch this remote," and it will follow it, and you know, go down the highway or whatever. As you're hauling butt, it'll follow and keep the camera on you, and it goes pretty fast. But I had a little accident on my drone. Last weekend, I shot a wedding with my drone, and I used one battery, and I used up one battery, and the other battery is still fully charged. Well, you're not supposed to store the drone with a fully charged battery. You're supposed to store the batteries at like a quarter full. Not completely empty and not completely full, like a quarter full. You want to have a little bit of a charge in there. So one of the batteries was bubbling a little bit of my unique Typhoon H. One of the batteries, the little plastic on the outside was kind of bubbled up just a little bit. It's not like it was bubbling and like dangerous. It still held a charge and it still worked just fine. And it would run the drone for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It worked just like the other battery. But it had a little bit of a bubble to it. So that's the battery that was fully charged that I wanted to discharge. So I was with some friends and I said, hey, you know, I took the drone and the battery that was in it, I wanted to see how much was in it, and it was like 15 volts or something. Usually it's around 16 or 17. So I still had a good 10 minutes of flying on it. So I flew the drone up and I took off, and luckily I had already transferred all my footage from the wedding off of the drone, off the camera. So I flew the drone around and I was, you know, hauling butt and going around with it and showing them stuff. And I brought it back and I thought, I'm gonna pull the battery out, put the other battery in, and drain this other battery. You know, I'm gonna run the drone for another 15 minutes or so and run this battery down. So I put the other battery in, and when I pushed it in, I don't think it clicked. The battery was a little bulged, and it slid in, and it made contact, and the drone turned on, but it didn't push all the way in and click. So the battery wasn't all the way inside. I start the drone up, I fly straight up, go about 50 feet, the drone turns off. I raise the landing gear, and the drone turns off and smashes into the gravel like that. And it ruined the camera, the gimbal on the bottom of the camera. It's got a gimbal on the bottom that rotates all the way around. It ruined it. It's trashed. So it broke one of the landing legs. It broke a couple of the arms for the props. All the props are broke off. Several props broke. One of the motors is locked up. I can't get it to turn. It's like tight. So it must have hit and landed on the motor. The other motors spin. The other 5 spin, but one of them, got 6 motors on it. One of them won't spin. So I guess I'm just going to part the thing out and get and the funny thing is I say it's funny, but it's not really funny. But the interesting thing is I was thinking of getting like a Mavic Air or a Mavic Spark or something like that, a little DJI drone, because I wanted to be able to put it in my bag. See, my drone has this big backpack. I was gonna actually put it on my back and ride out, find a spot, and go shoot with it. But the backpack is so big that it's so huge out of the back of on my back. I don't like riding with it on the motorcycle. I don't like carrying it. It's a big, heavy backpack. So I was thinking of getting like the Mavic Air or something like that, which shoots fantastic video. So now I guess I'm just gonna pick up a Mavic Air anyway as my drone for shooting videos, because it shoots fantastic. The Mavic Air shoots fantastic video, and it's got all the easy features. You can set it up. I can have it follow me and drive through these trees right here even, and it will move out of the way of the trees and follow me around, you know, a slow drive or whatever, something interesting. So I'm gonna have some fun with that. I'm gonna pick one up, but I'm gonna sell mine for parts because the remote is perfectly fine and all the other stuff, everything else is perfectly fine. The FPV goggles are just like new. I've never even used them. I put them on once. The Wizard one that you use to remote and fly it is fine. That thing was like 150 bucks. It's brand new. I have all the brand new boxes and everything for it, so, oh well. Here's my recommendation. Go buy this motorcycle. If you're looking for an adventure touring bike, and you're looking at a BMW or KTM or anything else, Suzuki, whatever, go try this Versys 1000. If you're into 1000cc, the 650 is pretty good too, from what I hear. If you're looking for 1000cc, a big boy's bike, and you want a phenomenal bike that you will love every single time you drive it, this is the bike. That's all I gotta say. This is it. Go get it. Okay, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't give it a flight stick thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you like what I said about the motorcycle, if there's something else you want to know about the motorcycle or about Biketoberfest or anything, you want to know something, feel free to comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I like getting in there and talking, and I appreciate you guys watching. And don't forget to click the bell icon, be notified when I make new videos, and like and subscribe, and have a good day, YouTube. Take it easy, and keep on. If you're riding motorcycles like I do, have fun. But if you don't ride motorcycles, you should think about going out and going for a ride, riding one. You never know, you might like it. Pick up a little scooter, pick up a little motorcycle and give it a shot. All right, thanks for watching, YouTube. See ya.